Thank you for joining us for the continuation of She Manifests Her Destiny If Women Were 100% Honest series. This space exists to invite honesty without judgment, healing without pressure, and both without fear. Today is about keeping promises, continuing the conversation, and allowing the healing to deepen. During our last gathering, we opened a sacred conversation around truth, faith, and choosing yourself. Trauma was named, voices were heard, and healing began. Today is not a repeat, it is a continuation. We are honored to welcome back Michaela Stephenson. Michaela is a disability rights advocate, motivational speaker, a DEI ambassador for Pamela's Big Heart Foundation, Inc., and a powerful voice for accessibility and inclusion. Born with severe cerebral palsy, she has continuously defied expectations and uses her lived experience to inspire, educate, and transform spaces. Michaela, welcome back. How are you feeling today? Mentally, emotionally, and spiritually coming into this space again?
Today, as I step into this space again, I feel a deep sense of comfort and confidence. Emotionally, mentally, and spiritually, I am grounded and ready to share my story. I come prepared to connect with anyone who has ever felt like they don't belong or feared pursuing their dreams. I hold a strong faith that God has given me a purpose, and this journey is exactly where I'm meant to be.
Absolutely amazing. Before we continue, I want to gently remind you and everyone watching that there is no pressure to share or answer in any specific way. Your truth, your pacing, and your comfort are always honored. As promised, Michaela will begin today by walking us through a PowerPoint presentation, grounding us in her journey, her perspective, and the lessons that have shaped her healing. Following this presentation, we will transition into Sky's the Limit, Michaela's story. Michaela, I'm going to make you the host, and then the floor will be yours. You are now the host.
Can you see the screen?
Yes.
Okay. So, no. Can you see it now?
Perfectly.
Okay. Then I will begin. Dreams are what drive us forward, no matter where we come from or what challenges we face. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Michaela Stevenson, and this is my faithful service dog, Alaska. He has been my constant companion through every step of my journey. Having him by my side reminds me every day that support and friendship can come in many forms. I want to start by sharing a dream I once had to become a ballet dancer. From a young age, I was captivated by the grace and beauty of ballet. I practiced tirelessly, imagining myself on stage. But life had a different plan for me because I was born with cerebral palsy. So I would like to share my story with you to inspire someone and to show you why I got involved into advocacy for inclusion. I graduated from Manhattanville University in 2019 with a degree in communications and a minor in marketing. For those who may not know, cerebral palsy is a neurological condition that affects muscle control and movements. It can make simple actions like walking or holding objects a real challenge. For me, it means my muscles sometimes tighten involuntarily, especially when I'm nervous, like right now. You might wonder how cerebral palsy happens. In my case, I was born 2.5 months prematurely, which is a common cause, but every person's story is unique. Let's take a moment to talk about diversity. Diversity means the beautiful variety of human differences, differences of human experiences, difference in races, gender, ability, beliefs, and so much more. When I realized that ballet wasn't going to be in my path, I felt a mix of sadness and determination. Instead of focusing on what I could do, I on what I couldn't do, I chose to focus on what I could do. That's when I found my passion for advocacy, raising awareness about diversity and inclusion. Since I've had to fight my way through life to accomplish any goal I had planned for myself, it became my priority. And inclusion. Inclusion is about making sure everyone feels welcome and valued. It's about creating spaces where everyone belongs, where no one is left out because of who they are or what they can do. I'm sure many of you have felt left out at some point. Welcome to the club. I've been there many times, especially during college. I remember seeing friends go out and have fun while I often needed a caregiver by my side. It wasn't always easy to feel part of the group. I persevered and tried to focus on my studies and on my accomplishments. It's all about having a positive outlook. Life has thrown many challenges my way: surgeries, hospital stays, and moments when giving up seemed like the easiest choice. But I learned to turn those challenges into strengths by focusing on what I can do. Here's a story I love to share. I'm a twin, and growing up, I didn't even realize that I was different. I was doing everything my sister was doing. I did ballet, horseback riding, skiing, and even surfing. All adapted with lots of support from my family and the volunteers. My parents never made me feel limited. My parents and I worked hard in a very intensive physical program to gain the most potential out of my abilities. My mom, especially, was my biggest cheerleader. She would tell me stories and throw little tea parties every time I reached my goal in physical therapy. Imagine a princess in knee pads celebrating crawling milestones. These moments taught me the power of celebrating every victory, no matter how small. I learned a very valuable lesson about the importance of recognizing our own and others' accomplishments. I'm still working hard to improve my condition and accomplish even more goals.
You have to watch this, remember?
It was through the tenacity and dedication of both my parents, and especially my mom, who advocated for me my whole life so that I could achieve so many milestones in my life and ultimately become the person I am today. She inspired me to become an advocate for people with disabilities and to dedicate my time to causes that are close to my heart. Now I volunteer for organizations like K9 Companions, which is a nonprofit organization that provides service dogs and skills companion dogs to people with disabilities free of charge. They also train dogs for PTSD for veterans. And some dogs are used in court to help children testify by reducing their stress and anxiety levels. Today, Alaska helps me live independently. He is always by my side, helping me to pick up objects, sitting with me at the hospital or doctor's appointments, accompanying me to photo shoots, runway shows, and public events. We've been featured in newspaper articles, runway shows, and even on NBC's The Today Show with Hoda and Jenna during the opening segment remotely. He's not just a dog, he's my partner in life's adventures. In 2023, I accepted a proclamation from Mayor Jason Klein of the city of Rybrook, who declared September to be known as National Service Dog Month. Another dream of mine was to model and promote inclusion in fashion. I joined Gamut Management and walked the runway at New York Fashion Week 2021 with Alaska. It was a moment that I never thought would be possible. Mindy Shire, the founder, is also the CEO of Runway of Dreams, a nonprofit organization that works for inclusion in the fashion industry. I now collaborate with them and participate in focus groups to speak at university panels. During Fashion Week 2023, Victoria's Secret launched their new Adaptive Intimates, which I helped play a role in the development as part of my involvement with Gamut Management. I had the honor of modeling for Sparky's at a Macy's presentation and later at the UN Sustainability Fashion Summit in New York, where the founder, Alina Kuderska from Ukraine, showcased her sustainable adaptive line. Inclusion isn't just a trend, it's innovation that benefits everyone. All the models that she selects have disabilities, emphasizing genuine inclusivity. Alina's dedication to affordable, stylish, adaptive fashion has earned her global recognition for advancing accessibility in the industry. Of course, I still have moments of sadness and frustration, but I remind myself of how far I've come. It's not about my disability. It's about what I can do with my life and how I can inspire others. You can lead by example. With positivity, strength, and confidence, you can achieve your goals, even the ones that seem impossible. I was honored to receive awards recognizing my advocacy and volunteer work. There is a nice article on the Examiner News about my story published in February 2023. I received awards at the Pamela Big Heart Foundation Gala, including a certificate from State Senator Shelley Mayer, declaring September 22nd, 2023 as Michaela Stevenson Day. How cool is that? I also received a Lifetime Achievement Award signed by President Biden. Thank you, Maddie, for that. In my journey, I've met incredible people of all shapes, sizes, and abilities. Together, we're changing the narrative around disability. I also had an opportunity to be part of a music video with Austin Halls for the release of his new song, Disabled. My goal is to normalize disability and inspire awareness. Whatever your dreams are, use your inner strength to make a difference. Never take no for an answer. Persevere, stay positive, and you'll find a way. Remember, the sky has no limit. At this point, I would like to share a 10-minute video I made in my sophomore year in college. You will find it very inspiring.
Michaela, I just want to take us a second real quick to say thank you so much before we move on to your story. Every award that you won via my organization has nothing to do with me and has everything to do with the extraordinary work that you have done, the advocacy work that you continue to do, not only for yourself, but for others, and the way that you continue to stand up and use your voice, no matter how hard it is for you, no matter how shaky it is, no matter how nervous you are, you still speak your truth. And that's absolutely amazing. And so, what you guys all are now about to witness is not just a narrative, it is a testimony of courage and truth embodied into one phenomenal human being. The sky has no limit. Michaela's story will be narrated and presented right now by Michaela Stephenson.
My name is Michaela. I have cerebral palsy. My disability is very visible. First of all, I stay in a wheelchair, so that kind of gives it away immediately. I have uncontrollable movement that makes me flail my arms around like a monkey or move my head left and right, and this can make people around me very uncomfortable. Disabilities are not always evident like mine. I believe that everyone faces some kind of challenges that disables him or her in one way or another. That is a new talent. Some of you may have other talents. They may be psychological, emotional, or just make you feel different.
Michaela took my multimedia communications course this semester. My first impression of Michaela was a positive one. She was wheeled in by her aide, but still she came in with a huge smile on her face and immediately spoke to me, and I had a feeling it was going to go well. First class, we did icebreakers, and Michaela just had a humor that was apparent right away, made everyone comfortable, and her personality really shined through.
Sometimes challenges bring us to think that we are not good enough, strong enough, or capable enough of doing things. And all we want to do is end up giving up. My goal is to inspire people to believe in themselves and to believe that anyone can accomplish anything if they put their mind to it. My motto is, the sky has no limits, and we should never give up.
Michaela's speeches were all about her disability or her struggles in one way or another. She spoke about emotional support animals. She spoke about cerebral palsy on a more general scale, and everyone was very inspired and very interested in hearing about it from her angle. I think that she really made a positive difference in how they viewed cerebral palsy and a lot of other disability.
Many people play sports, go to parties, hang out with friends, and take the trains or the buses and walk or run upstairs or downstairs. All these things are normal, and people take them for granted. I have to plan and consider where the ramps are, if there are elevators, if they even work, if the trains and subways are accessible, or make sure that if someone is coming to pick me up, they have the right car that can accommodate my walker or my wheelchair. I could go on and on, but I don't feel sorry for myself. I'm actually very happy and believe in myself. Now, try to consider what it is like growing up with a physical disability and having a twin sister doing all the normal activities any child can do. Well, it sucks, as it is frustrating to live with the perception that people have of you, and many of you probably feel the same way I do without having a disability like mine. I have used braces, a walker, a wheelchair, a stander, and I've had endless hours of physical therapy. I worked extra hard to achieve physical and educational goals and milestones that general able-bodied people take for granted.
Michaela emailed me many times over the course of the semester, just trying to better prepare for all the assignments. She came prepared for every speech with a very elaborate outline, something that many students did not do. So I really got a sense of her hard work early on in the semester, and she really puts 100% effort in everything she does.
Every single one of my achievements was celebrated in my family as if we had won the lottery. We celebrated every award or graduation as if I were the next nominated president of the United States. I also spent a great deal of my life recovering from several surgeries, which left many scars on my body trying to fix orthopedic. I'm glad I'm not part of this one. Often, people assume that if someone has a disability or any kind of challenge, that person does not have the big goals or the ambition to achieve those extremely important goals. Growing up, my parents taught me that the sky has no limits. They always treated me like every other normal child. It was only when I started public school in the second grade and my classmates questioned me, "What is wrong with you?" that I realized that I actually had a disability. What I saw was a kid that did everything everyone else was doing, but with help. Having a twin sister pushed me to always do the same thing she did. My parents took me swimming, skiing, dancing, horseback riding, and traveling around the world. I was in riding competition, dancing recitals, skiing down the mountains on my very young skis, and eventually I even went surfing in the ocean for the first time at 17 years old in Huntington Beach, California. Quite an accomplishment for someone like me with a physical disability. At times, like probably many other teenagers who don't even have a disability, I felt like I did not fit in. I cannot hide the fact that I often questioned myself and I asked, why me? Like many people do when something goes wrong. My parents used to tell me that I was special because I was strong and very determined to always do anything that would make me happy. Since my days in elementary school, I have overcome my many obstacles with great determination. I absolutely love my life. I know that I'm not alone in my struggle. Many people are going through the same exact experiences I'm going through. As some of you may also have your own challenges.
Michaela wants to be a motivational speaker, and I think you should absolutely pursue that path. She was so inspiring to her peers, and I think that she can make a huge difference
Family support has played an enormous role in my life. I could not have done all of this without the love, the support, and the strength of my parents, my family members, my teachers, and all the volunteers who helped make everything possible for me. It hasn't always been easy, and I've had my share of problems and frustrations, but I always picked up my game and tried to concentrate on the things I can do, and trust me, that list isn't very long. But if there is one thing on that list, I will put forth all my efforts into making it happen and succeed, and so should you. I use my strength, my courage, and my tenacity to push myself to work extra hard to accomplish goals like succeeding in school and going to college. I turned the negativity of my disability into a power to ignite the fire in me to push myself to my full potential. I set goals for myself too. To graduate from high school, which I did. To go to college and live on campus, which I'm doing right now. I'm living in the dorm with a personal. My next goal is to graduate from college. To become a motivational speaker, which I have already started doing. And to have a family of my own. I'll work on it later though. So many things I did not always think I could do actually happened. I even got a proposal to go to prom and had an unforgettable experience. Again, the sky has no limits. I hope that sharing my life story with other people can show the public that there is a normal person behind the disability, and that the disability does not define the person, but the person defines herself. I also hope to open the minds and inspire everyone who has any type of challenges, who have dreams and aspirations, to never give up and to pursue their goals. If I can do it, you can too. If only one or two are inspired, then I did my job. I'm on top of the world.